OpenRV just released version 3.0. At first glance, it looks like a normal update. Not much features, nothing dramatic, just a small improvements. But there are actually some really useful additions. So let's start with annotations. There is new ghost overlay feature that was updated in this new version. Earlier, when you draw an annotation and move to the next frame, it would actually disappear. Now, it actually stays visible with a soft opacity. When you scrub close to that frame, it becomes more visible, and when you move away, it will fade into light color strokes. So, this is super helpful for animation reviews, roto paint fixes, or anything where need to change all the annotations across the frames. There is also a new annotation menu. You can enable an option that to automatically mark annotated frames. So every time you draw something, it marks that frame on the timeline on the top. You don't have to manually track it anymore. And they also added updated options like live drawing sync and render diagnosis. In live RV sessions, you can now monitor and troubleshoot the review session in real time. Another useful option is annotate first toast menu in the top right corner, which overlays the current frame over the small session. It's a small feature but helpful in comparisons. But it seems like it's pretty much hard coded every time when you enable it. You just have to clear that or close the RV session just to hide it. Now, let's talk about the GIF support. GIF images are now supported directly in new RV updates. It sounds small, but in production, artists often share quick tests or slap comps or just a couple of frames as GIFs. Earlier, you have to convert them or find the workarounds. Now, you can just drag and drop and review. It's simple. And speaking of drag and drop, there is another improvement. If you drag a file or from the folder, it can now automatically load the full sequence. This saves time. Usually, we have to enable this using the hidden packager. Now it became a default one. The file dialog also got upgraded. You can now create folders, delete files, rename folders, refresh directories inside the RV itself. Earlier, you have to switch your file explorer. Now it feels more interactive, not just a passive viewer. Under the hood, they updated almost everything. OpenIO, OCIO, OpenAXR, Python, Boost, FFmpeg 6.12, Qt, Blackmagic SDK, and Flow Production Tracking Toolkit. So these are not just underhood cosmetic updates. These are real production values. Updating OpenEXR and OCIO helps with modern HDR and color workflows. Python 3.1 improves performance, keeps scripting the future ready. Qt update feature keeps the UI modern, and FFmpeg update improves the playback and format support. So this is not actually for flashy release. OpenRV 3.1 is a solid update. It improves daily workflows, it modernizes the foundations, and it gives more control over pipeline instead of locking into a closed system. And in production softwares, smart updates matter more than flashy ones. Originally, RV was a proprietary media review tool used widely in visual effects and animation industry. It also earned a scientific and technical academy award for enabling high-performance short review across studios of all sizes. In 2023, Autodesk took a big step. It open-sourced RV's code base on GitHub under the Academy Software Foundation's Open Review Committee. The move was more than a code dump. It marked as a strategic push towards community-driven open standards in media review tooling, a space for long dominated by closed and expensive platforms. ASWF Open Review Initiative isn't that OpenRV alone. It's a collective effort that includes OpenRV by Autodesk, XStudio by DNEG, and upcoming tools like Sony Pictures, ImageWorks, ItView. So the goal isn't just a simple tools. The goal is a unified ecosystem for review and approval workflows that can be shared, extended, and integrated across studios, pipelines, and third-party tools without gatekeepers. That's a big deal in an industry that thrives on collaboration between teams scattered across the globe. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Topic Room VFX for latest news and updates.